Hello everyone. It has been a while. I have not posted any videos in quite some time. I do head wraps and I also wear head wraps, which means two different things. So today I'm on my way to Salat al-Jum'ah, which is prayer services at the masjid. Muslims worship we worship every day, but our day of gathering are Fridays. So today I'm going to use the same method that I did before. I know my hair has grown from previous videos, so I just washed it last night. It was in a 2-strand, or kind of. And what I'm going to do is put my hair up. I still get my hair done. I still have it trimmed. I still have it moisturized. I take care of my hair whether or not people see it. So my going out, and I hope it's not too much noise here, I'm outside. My going out with my head covered does not deter me from taking care of my hair. Anywho, so this is the same red fabric. It's a very sturdy fabric. I actually use other pieces, but this is my favorite. And I do my best to make sure my hair is clean before I apply anything. So before I get started with the wrapping, I do what is called an under wrap. And I go backward. I make sure that both ends are even before I even apply it to my head. And I have a mohawk haircut, so it doesn't bother me to have my sides flattened down. If you have hair that your style is big, you may be wearing a straight bob, this will interfere with the style because your hair will be flattened on the sides. So just watch what I'm doing, if you can. This is a bit of a how-to, and then it's a bit of a not-so how-to. You just have to watch. This takes practice. So I am wrapping one part back, and it's actually the part that folds downward that I'm wrapping first. It really doesn't matter if you are taking the upper fabric, and I'm talking about on the hands when you form an X and you're tying something. I didn't tie, I tuck. My method is only tucking. But the part of the fabric that is lower, when you are trying to make the adjustments, I take the lower half first, so it creates less of a bump in the back. And then I take what is on top and I wrap it. But I do make sure that the fabric is stretched out. And the reason why I do that is because the easier method is this, to make sure that the wrap is clean underneath. If I have a messy wrap underneath, the structure isn't as sound. So this is the first step. You can stop here and start wrapping using your favorite scarf that you want to expose, or you can continue and use another fabric. So this one right here, I just picked up, this is actually a very thin linen scarf, and I'm going to do the method again, but a little differently. So I go back again, I grab both sides, except for this time I'm creating more dimension, more fluff, yet I am still making sure that I continue with my tucking method. Except for this time, it's what I call the basket weave method. And I will use both of my hands at the same time to make sure that the top is thicker and is secure. So this created height. That's what this did. Now you can do it even more with just 2 pieces of fabric and decide to have a more firmer fabric on top. This is a linen scarf from Ethiopia. So it is thinner, and I am actually using it and only carrying it to this height. If it was thicker and another stretchable cotton, I would actually open it up as I did the bottom so that it can create even more height. Now you can choose to have the fabric as I have, which is different colors, and not making much of a difference. But if you want to do certain styles of body wrap, you will have to have fabric that is under fabric that is underneath the head wrap needs to be the same color, because you will expose the color and the pattern of what's underneath. Now what I'm doing is one side is exceptionally short, not a little short, exceptionally short, and the other side is long. This is the part where you need even more practice. So in the back, you see that I'm covering up the fabric. I am going over, taking the shorter fabric. You can pin it here if you want to. I don't. I'm accustomed to using my hands for this method. And this exceptionally short part is getting tucked in, being held down while I take the longer fabric and start to wrap it around. And this is my favorite one. I make sure also that the fabric that is there as the foundation is not exposed. If it is exposed, you can still make adjustments. But this does take practice. It doesn't take hours to do. It doesn't take minutes. I won't say that, I won't say, well, I just wrap it in under 3 minutes. I do have wraps like that, but this is not one of them. But it won't take you 10 and 20 minutes once you get the hang of it. So now that's the first area of the wrap. I make sure that all of it is tucked in sufficiently. You can choose to leave the tassels. This is a pashmina. I have numerous pashminas in different colors. And the fabric that I would actually like to wear with this skirt, I'm using it right now as a barrier on my patio so people can't see in. So that's one tuck around. Some people tuck over and under. So that is using the basket weave method that I did on the top wrap. I don't choose to do that. I do one, and I just make sure that all of my fabric is secure. And then this piece that's left, I tuck it in. I can choose to leave the tassels out a little bit if I want to, but I am tucking them all in right now. You tuck, and you can choose to make adjustments to make it seem less stuffy on top if you want to. I don't like mine completely flat, so I am fluffing it out a bit and taking advantage of all of the length. The length of my scarves are always 2.5 inches long, 1.5 inches wide, always. Even what I have on my head, except for the Ethiopian wraps, usually run about 2.5 inches wide and about 3 to 4 inches long. Am I making that right? 3 to 4 yards. Excuse me, not inches, yards. All of it in yards. Excuse me. Forget all about that. So everything is in yards. All of my scarves that I have, other than those that may be of linen from overseas, are 2.5 yards long, 1.5 yards wide. And Ethiopian wraps usually run about 3 yards wide, and then they'll be 3 yards long, and then maybe about 2.5 inches with yards and width. So there's a little wider, just similar to the Indian style sour kameez, the scarves that go with those. So the fabric is very different. But here it is. This is the wrap. Now if you want to tuck back, which I often do, to make sure it is still stable, you can push back on this part that you wrapped. You can push back on that, make sure that your fabric underneath is not exposed, and you can give it a dip. You can choose to do it from the other end. I choose this one because it's more secure for me. This is leaving the shorter half of the fabric exposed, and the longer half is what is being more manipulated. Everything is tucked, no pins, and that is it. So this is what I've chosen to wear with this skirt that I have here. And so I am still not done being dressed, because I'm wearing 2 shirts, just because I'm not sure if the olive shirt doesn't bring it in, and I usually tie mine. You know, just tie my tops, not really tie them up high, or I can choose to tuck this in, but this is with a skirt. Don't know if you can see it as well, but these colors, in my opinion, go with my skirt. So that is it, and I thank you, and I apologize for not being online in quite some time. I mean, it's been a minute. So everything takes time. It takes time to edit. It takes time to record. It takes space. It takes lighting. Hopefully everything will improve so that I can do much better videos for you. But I hope that if that was thorough. This is a little piece of fabric also. So that came with this garment. It's too short for the type of wraps that I use. If you happen to be in that type of situation where you've gotten some Ankara print, something in design, you can take this extra piece, which I more than likely will not do because this is short, so I would have to pin it. But you can take your extra piece and just use it to complement your wrap. Me, I guess I would do it this way. Pin it, and I use hat pins and figure out something to do when you have your extra fabric. So that is it. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate you. And please continue to share this video. This is what I do. This is how I wear my wraps. They don't come off. I work in these wraps 10 to 12 hours a day. I'm doing a lot of physical work, and mine do not come off unless I want to take them off. All right? Everyone, be blessed, be awesome, and don't forget to help others be magnificent too. All right? Peace.